Me now is Pennsylvania Congressman Dan Meuser, a member of the House Financial Services Committee. Congressman, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Am I right that there's actually a worry that there could be another partial shutdown? What? We just got through a partial shutdown.
Yeah. Good morning, Maria. You know, a lot of us are up early here. We've got our congressional prayer breakfast with the president in a few minutes, and, you know, we're going to work hard and pray hard to keep that from happening. But we sure it could occur. Look, it seems as if they want the issue, they meaning the Democrats, more than the solution. Because what we have is some reasonable requests. Some aren't so reasonable. But if they've got their demands, well, we've got our demands. And you just mentioned now we're calling it the Save America Act, which would keep illegals from being able to register to vote. And by the way, we plan on adding ID requirements for voting, which 85% of America agrees with. But where this all started, they decided that they were going to make all kinds of symbolic gestures about the chaos that's been created in Minneapolis. And that's largely been created as a distraction from the billions of dollars in fraud that's occurred. Granted, many mistakes were made, but a frenzy was created by the leadership there. And now we had to go to, now we're in this position where we had to pull the DHS funding appropriations bill from the other bills that we just recently passed. And now we got to negotiate on it. But what's at jeopardy is FEMA, TSA payments, Border Patrol payments. You know, the Democrats once again have created a mess here, just like pretty much the type of mess they've made in the streets of Minneapolis.
Unbelievable. So how does this play out, do you think?
Well, we're gonna negotiate. We have not even 10 days left. They're asking for no masks. Okay, guess what? If you're going to do that, and why, we can identify them. Officials can identify them. Their bosses can. The only ones who perhaps can't are the general public, the mob. So they want them to unmask so they can be doxxed and be harassed at their homes. If they're going to do that, then we need to raise the penalties on doxxing, jail time for doxxing an ICE agent, for instance. And they're talking about, hey, you can't do these roving groups. Okay, then let us pick up the criminals, the illegals that are criminals in jail. Then you won't have to have groups going through the streets looking for them. Cooperation adds to this. And you know what, Maria? We have that in almost every city, right? We don't see this, but Minneapolis is certainly the exception.
Well, I mean, what's the nuance on the body cam? I mean, President Trump has now instituted body cams for the border agents. So, I mean, Chuck Schumer is saying he wants body cam for accountability. What does that mean?
Let's have body cams. It was in our original bill, the one that they pulled from appropriations and the Democrats all voted against. Body cams are fine. We had money for training in the bill. Much of what they're asking for in this bill, we had in the original bill. Again, they're doing this somewhat as a stunt, somewhat as a gesture, somewhat to say to their base, hey, we're doing things to defund ICE, which is truly their goal in the end. It used to be defund police, now it's defund ICE. So what we need is cooperation. You get the cooperation from law enforcement that exists elsewhere. We can do the job that the president was elected for, focus on the criminal elements, enforce legal immigration, enforce the law as it's written.
Let me switch gears, ask you about the process to confirm Kevin Warsh. North Carolina Senator Tom Tillis holding on to his threat to block the president's nominee for the chairman of the Fed, Kevin Warsh, unless the investigation into Jay Powell is dropped. I spoke with Senate Banking Committee Chairman Tim Scott yesterday. He oversaw the June hearing at the center of the probe, and here's what he told me. Watch this.
I was the one asking the questions. Jay Powell was responding to me. Obviously, he and I have very, very strong disagreements on many issues, number one. Number two, I believe that it's time for a new federal chair, and thank God Almighty we're getting ready to get one. Number three, I found him to be inept at doing his job, but ineptness or being incompetent is not a criminal act. I believe what he did was made a gross error in judgment. He was not prepared for that hearing. I do not believe that he committed a crime during the hearing.
So you think at the end of the day, Tom Tillis will vote to confirm Kevin Warsh?
I'm sure Tom Tillis will want to be on your show to say it himself, but my conversations with him, very productive.
I need my IFB.
So, Congressman Meuser, Maria's having an audio issue at Cheryl Casoni. Always great to speak with you. Go ahead and react to what you heard there from Chairman Tim Scott regarding the issue of Jerome Powell and that investigation.
Sure. And I'm sorry, I thought that she was addressing it. I don't disagree with that, but Chairman Powell didn't cooperate. Chairman Powell was asked by the DOJ, asked very politely, please provide us the information on the overspend of billions of dollars. That actually matters to the American people. Can you at least just happen and how it happened, and so it doesn't happen again, and maybe we can do some corrective things. Look, Warsh is a great nominee. He's going to be an outstanding, I predict, Fed chairman. Warsh gets growth. Jerome Powell apparently doesn't get growth from the standpoint of having supply exceed demand, okay, simple economics from way back, which will bring down inflation, which will in the end as well, by bringing down interest rates, will create higher levels of capital investment, not so much consumer spending, because we're seeing that already, and will bring down home prices as well as our service on the debt.
Right.
So there's all kinds of good things that will happen with the nominee for Fed Chair, Kevin Warsh.
Well, and Tim Scott wants to address housing as well. We might hear about that today with the Treasury Secretary on Capitol Hill. Congressman Dan Meuser, thank you so much for your time. We'll be right back.
And thank you, Maria.